When I was working at the record rack in East LA, we sold a lot of copies. I can even remember it was Original Sound 4. Preston Epps, Bongo Rock. Art Laboe on the radio here in Los Angeles. Hot 92.3 from 7 in the evening until midnight, Monday through Friday, and then from 6 to midnight on Saturday with dedications? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
The 6 to midnight is Sunday, actually.
Okay.
Saturday's my one day off.
Okay. Art Laboe on the internet. You can listen to the Art Laboe show on the internet at killeroldies.com, and you can find all sorts of information about the Art Laboe universe at artlaboe.com. Here's the show. Art Laboe's show live Saturday, September 12th. This is at the San Manuel Amphitheater. That's at the DeVore Glen Helen Park, up there where the 215 and the 15 come together. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com, LiveNation.com, or you can get them, and a lot of other places, or you can call 212-323-851-2500, extension 17. Simplest way to find all that, myfoxla.com. When we come back, we'll talk more about Art Laboe's story and about that big concert at the San Manuel Amphitheater. Stay with us. Oh, look at that. That's dedication music, and that's one of the Art Laboe live shows.
Very recent. I'm not sure which one it is at the moment, but it's recent, very recent.
You know, one of the things that strikes me about these is that it's for the whole family.
Yeah. This concert that I'm doing on September 12th, all kids can come any age. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm a kid at heart.
Well, next to me, you still have pimples.
Okay, that's true. So who's going to be there?
Well, we've got Zap. You know, those are the guys I was prancing with on the stage. And the Manhattans, Atlantic Star, they do that song Always. The Originals, Baby I'm For Real.
Oh, one of my favorites.
And these are all artists from the 70s and 80s. You know, 1980 was 29 years ago, Tony. So nowadays, oldies but goodies are songs from the 80s and even the 90s.
What is it about us that makes us like music of that style in that era? Any idea?
Well, it brings back a time when things were, you know, easygoing, and it was happy days before happy days.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And it just takes us back to that time when everything was kind of mellow and easy and a good time, you know, and we didn't seem to have the pressures that we have now.
Do you remember where the dedication thing started?
Well, I started doing that on my very first show in San Francisco, but people would write in, and we couldn't talk to people on the phone because there was no equipment for that. Right. So if you called me and you said, I'd say, what's your name? They would only hear me, and you'd say, my name is Tony. I'd say, oh, his name is Tony. You see? That's when it started.
While we talk some more about that, why don't we roll through some of the other photographs here? Was there any dedication that particularly struck you?
Well, sometimes people would come in and make a dedication at the drive-in, boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'd get in the car and sit next to in the middle, and the boyfriend would turn around to pay the check, and the girlfriend would come on to me, and I used to get a little worried because I see the 4 stripes, big letterman, great big football guy, you know.
It was one of the hazards of the job, huh?
Yeah.
And that's Scrivener's. That's the one. That's the one on
That's a Sunset in Cahuenga, 1956, when Elvis came out here to do "Love Me Tender."
Oh, sure.
And we got that. We stuck it up there at the drive-in.
Wow. Well, and there's a Jack in the Box there now. What else have we got here? Now, we got to talk about that.
Oh, this is that's on this channel back in the day. Look at that camera.
And there's that couple.
Yeah.
That you were sitting here.
It was just an anniversary show, and Channel 11 came out there, and we did about an hour show from the drive-in.
That was again. That's the early days of rock and roll and rhythm and blues. That's the exact
El Monte Legion Stadium Saturday night. Boom, boom, boom.
You mentioned earlier when we were in makeup, you mentioned Hal Zeiger, who was a promoter, and he ran some shows here.
Yes, he was the one that first got me into doing concerts.
You won't believe this, but sometime probably 64, 65, I got a call from Hal Zeiger, who had an office maybe on Cahuenga or Vine Street.
He was on Vine Street. And he worked out of his apartment there.
He called me out of the blue at the record shop and says, hey, I hear you got a pretty good voice, kid. Come on over and do a couple of El Monte
no
Legion
kidding.
Stadium spots, which I did, and I'm sure they ended up in somebody's trash can. This was such an important
You could have
place.
wound up a disc jockey instead of a big television guy like you are
Well,
now.
I'm only big because I'm overweight. This was such a big place in terms of its importance.
Yeah, a lot of people did shows there. You know, Cliffy Stone did the Western Jamboree there, and it really belonged to the American Legion. So all kinds of shows were done there, and I was there every other week.
Yeah, let's flip the page because we give us a sense of, look at that.
Yeah, that was actually done at El Monte Legion Stadium. And the guy in the middle waving there is Don Julian. You know.
Of the Meadowlarks.
Yeah, that's right.
Heaven and Paradise?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I asked him once about where'd you get the inspiration for that song, and I thought he was going to tell me about a girlfriend or something. He told me he was in a bubble bath. It's the truth. And he said,
Let's flip the page.
you never know.
There's the two great icons.
My friend Dick Clark, what a guy. And, yeah, we were real good friends, still are.
Good. How's he doing?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you have a sense that between the two of you, you played a big role in inventing rock and roll?
Well, yeah, he came a little bit after I did, but not much, about a year or two. Well, rock and roll was there, you know, we didn't invent it, people did it, but like I told you, I started this drive-in show almost exactly when the first records of Elvis came out in 1955. So I just happened to again be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, some of those, remember that?
Yes, she used to be under contract to us on my record label.
Jane Mansfield? Oh,
Yeah,
my
she made a
goodness.
couple of very nice records for us.
Yeah. And do you know who that guy is on the left?
That was our sales manager.
Okay.
Looks like a sales manager, doesn't
He does. He does.
He looks different now.
A couple of more photographs. Look at that. Bob Hope.
Oh, yeah. Bob Hope and I were in business together. The station that I was on years ago, KRLA, actually, Bob Hope wound up owning it, and I had a piece of it at the same time.
Was that when you were up on Oak Knoll?
Yeah. It was in 1976. That
that's a little
picture
bit
looks
later.
like about 1978.
Yeah. KRLA. And
I
look at
love-
that guy.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. He did the morning show with me. He was a guest a few times, and nobody could get him to get on come and do anything, but he did for me, and I feel real good about it.
Because you're Art Laboe. Yeah.
Well,
We got a couple?
I gave him a set of oldies but goodies, and he loved them.
Oh, of course. He's a
Yeah,
smart
he
man.
just loves them.
And there you are with one of the pioneers,
Yeah, an icon,
Berry.
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry's actually playing somewhere around here as we speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't
he's
think he was
still,
even
he's still
playing.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate that we have you, we have Little Richard, we have Chuck Berry, and we have Fats Domino.
Yeah.
All the guys who are here. So, what are we doing these days?
What am I doing?
Yeah, we've got the radio show, we've got
I'm
the
on the
internet
radio
show.
every night, and that's quite a bit, you know, and still have original sound, the oldies but goodies. Whereas record sales aren't so hot anymore, but
Yeah.
I still have a lot of fun on the radio, you know.
But your stuff is available now through iTunes.
Yes.
That's better than having people steal your music.
Yeah. Well, you know, we don't own a lot of those masters or original, so we lease them from other record companies.
And radio in 2009, what's that like?
Well, it's different. You know, I mean, we have a new way of ratings now called the People Meter, and I could go on and on about that, but I won't.
But nevertheless, you're one of the higher rated programs.
Yeah, still am. We make the adjustments, you know, but still have a great following in East LA, which is I'm pleased about. I used to do all my dances at El Monte, as you know, and a lot of friends from East LA, and now their daughters and granddaughters and sons and uncles and nephews. They call me sometimes. We do dedications for them all the time.
That's got to warm your heart.
It does. It does.
Oh, my goodness.
Do some things in conjunction with some of the schools in East LA.
Can we take one more break?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. We'll be right back.